computer scientist, and I work in the intersection between natural language processing, information retrieval, and machine learning. I did my PhD in Spain in the Technical University of Valencia. And eventually after that, I moved to Qatar Computing Research Institute, where I spent more or less 4.5 years as a scientist. I started to work on propaganda identification. And finally, a couple of years ago, I moved to the University of Bologna. I'm working in the Department of Interpreting and Translation. For both fact-checking and plagiarism detection, the best entity to spot them is a human being. If a human being is educated, she or he can spot very quickly if something is plagiarized or if something is fake. It is impossible for a human being to keep track of all the information available. We need automatic systems to identify interesting documents, being documents which happen or seem to be fake, or documents which seem to have been reused from another document, and then just filtering out interesting elements and giving them to the user to say, look, please pay attention to this case or to this document because there's something fishy here. A phenomenon that we are observing nowadays, probably during the last 5 or 6 years that it has been increased, it has been the creation of information bubbles. People tend to follow other users who are aligned with their point of view. If I keep consuming the same contents which have been analyzed or have been created from the same point of view, I'm just going to reinforce my own point of view. And that's very dangerous for democracy because it's not going to be about finding agreements anymore. It is about convincing everybody else that I'm right. And I usually try to read one leftist newspaper and one rightist newspaper. So I'm not going to become biased. When you read a news article or something that looks like a news article, before believing what they are telling to you, you need to see where exactly it is published. If it is in a well-known medium, if the article has been signed by somebody, if the illustration that contains it, the picture that illustrates the article has something to do with the actual contents, if it sounds reasonable, if they're not exaggerating too much, if they're not simplifying the reason behind an event. We try to create automatic models to address those problems, boosting or trying to boost the development of these technologies for production, for multiple languages is something very, very important. Technological companies have to take better care. They need to use more diversified data to train their models because most of the decisions we make online are affected by automatic models. Both the governments and the society need to, from my point of view, establish very clear guidelines. We need the governments to follow up and to guarantee that the information is used fairly and that there is some verification. We need the citizens to commit a bit more and to realize that they are not just simple users and they need to understand better how the technology they have in their hands is based on.